Trello versus Asana. Which one is better? Good day, folks. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go through some project management tools, and I'm going to show you two awesome project management tools, and I'm going to show you how to use them, and I'm also going to compare them to see which one comes out on top. So the first one we're having a look at is Trello, and Trello is pretty awesome. And then we've also got Asana, which is also pretty awesome. So they both do pretty much the same thing, but their functionality is slightly different. So without further ado, let's get into the interface of the two platforms. We're going to also have a look at some key features, and then I'm going to show you the price comparisons. So without further ado, going on to Trello, you can see that the interface looks pretty good. It looks pretty straightforward. On the left hand side over here, you've got your menu. You can pretty much do everything straight from this menu. So the way that this works is you create boards and you create workspaces. So this is a workspace over here on the top left. It says In Essence Photography and Videography, and this in fact is a workspace. So what's going to happen now is you create boards. When you create boards within these boards, and I'll just show you that quickly, when you open one of these boards, this is what it looks like. So you have cards. So inside of these cards you have all the details of your workflow. So as you can see here, we're going down here, and there are some inquiries, quotes, payments, shoot days, edits, and then we have our delivery, and then we have a declined bar. So having a look at the way it works, it's pretty simple. All you need to do is, if you want to add a new list, there is a button here. You just tap on that, you enter the details over there, and you create a list. You can do a couple things with the list. You can add a card, you can copy, move, and you can put a watch on it. There's also some automation, and then you can move all the items or all the cards within that list to another list. Going back, you can also tap on add a card in any one of these lists, and you can enter the details over here. So once you enter the details, you can now just click on add card. See, when you go into this card that you've just created, now you can add on bits and pieces here. You can add members, labels, you can add some checklists, you can give it a description, and really pretty much you can do whatever you want with it in here. So all of the details are here, so your team members can actually see that. So you can have different boards. Different boards would mainly represent different departments in your companies, or if you have different companies that you are organizing for or collaborating with, you can have those different boards accordingly to those companies. So there are a few nice features. It looks very easy to use. It's very straightforward. You create your workspace, you create your boards, and then you pretty much just fill in all the details. You can also change the view from board to table, calendar, timeline, dashboard, and map, and depending on how you would prefer to use it, you can just choose them there. The board for me is the best option because it's just so straightforward. You can see everything that's happening. You can see in what stage a particular task is in. So that is fantastic. It's easy to use and it's straightforward. Now let's go over to Asana, and we're going to see how their usability compares to Trello. So upon our first view, you can see again it's pretty much the same layout. You have your toolbar on the left hand side, you have your home, you have your tasks, and then as well as your inbox, which you will see all of your communications from your team members right over there. You have some insights as well, some reports, some portfolios, and then you can also set some goals, which is awesome. Having a look, if you're going into my tasks, you can see that this has a similar layout. You have your lists, and within each one of these lists you can add tasks or add cards. So if you're opening up a card, again on the right hand side, this is opening up and you can add in all the details, just exactly the same as Trello. And you can add in due dates, you can add in project details, you can add attachments, members, a description, and over here you can also add a sub task, and there's a bunch of settings over there. So that is fantastic. Once you've added a card, you can also click down and move it from one list to another, and that's great. So having a look at the usability here, it is fantastic. You also get the option to have all of this data viewed in a list form, a board form, a calendar form, and a files form. So this is a little bit less options in terms of the viewing, but it's pretty much the same. You can completely customize this board as you can just in Trello. Having a look at some of the key features now, Trello has the automation feature. So if you go ahead and you open any one of these lists, you can go down here and there's an automation section over here. So you can now add, for example, it says when a card is added to the list, so you can just tap on that and it'll open this. So when a card is added to this list, we can then add an action. So what happens? Do we copy the card to? Do we move the card? Do we join the card? Do we set a due date? Do we mark it? Do we remove it? What happens over here? So that's quite nice. You can really just play around with that. There are a couple other options. So we go every day sort list by, every Monday sort list by, or you can create a custom rule over here. So the functionality is nice and it's pretty straightforward and easy to use. So if you want to like create a rule, the interface is pretty decent, and also they also give you like an explanation on how to actually create a rule. So you can create nice, easy, simple workflows in Trello. Having a look now at Asana, we have pretty much the same thing. If you're having a look at your list over here, you're going to click up on those three dots. You can now also add a rule to your section. So it says when moved to section recently assigned, so you can now change that. You can also change the rule over here. It says task moved to a section, and then what happens after that. So you can click on the add action, and as you can see over here, you can change what happens when something is added to that list. Also, again, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use, so not much explanation that has to happen over there. And I think both of them equally have decent usability, and they also both have nice features. So you can completely customize everything on your boards in Asana as well as Trello. So it makes it really easy for you to use. Having a look at the pricing now, one of the key features I want to note is that both Trello as well as Asana offer a free plan. The difference between the two plans is that Trello does not have a time limit on it, and Trello will continue to allow you to use this free plan until time indefinite. The Asana pricing structure with the free plan, they only give you 30 days, which means after that you will have to purchase a plan. So plans on Asana start from $10.99 and you get a decent amount of features, and then you have their more advanced package, which is $24.99, and you can see here that you get a couple more features. So their minimum per month you will be paying $11 obviously plus taxes. And having a look at Trello, their standard plan over here only costs $5 per month, and you can see that you get a fair amount of features. They also have a premium, which is $10, and then they have an enterprise plan, which means you have a sliding scale on the amount of users that you can invite to your team, and the more users you have, the less you will be charged per month. So it goes all the way down to $7.38, and that's if you have up to 5,000 users, and I think that is absolutely amazing. That's a lot of users, and that is a decent price. So they do offer some more options, more than Asana. I think also that they are a little bit better priced, and I think also that the fact that there's a free plan and you don't always have to upgrade if you don't have a need, I think that is awesome. All in all, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and say that Asana is great and I have been using it for a while. However, I'm going to go ahead and say that Trello is much better. Their usability is just so much cleaner. They just come across like an easier platform to use. They're a little bit more straightforward, and the interface for me just seems much smoother. There we go, folks. If you're looking for a project management tool, Asana as well as Trello are both awesome. You can go ahead and explore them. You can download the desktop app. You can also download the apps for your mobile device, whether you're on Android or on iOS, and you can see for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to drop us a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next video. Ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.